Special
Vignesh, are
Marriages
you
Act. And
saying,
this is ironically
Vignesh,
under,
Vignesh, allow me to ask you
yes.
another question, and I would like to interrupt you here. You were saying that there are already examples in Karnataka where a same sex marriage has happened. So now, are you trying to say that the kind of counter affidavit which the government has submitted in Supreme Court, is it misleading the Supreme Court? Is the center misleading the Supreme Court on the same sex marriage?
These marriages are not same-sex marriages. I would like to correct there. These are marriages where a trans woman have married a cisgender man. One such example is one of the most famous transgender rights activists who's seen as the face of trans rights activism in Karnataka, Dr. Akai Padmasali, who was married a cis man. She has also got the right of her to adopt a child as a trans woman through the High Court. So, yet I think in a way the central government has misled the government by saying that in the history we have not seen any other person other than a biological man, and the biological woman has registered the marriage. It is very false to say that because ironically under their very own government in Karnataka, such marriages have been registered between a trans person and a cis person.
No, but the center is trying to convince the court by saying that the same-sex marriage is just not compatible with the concept of an Indian family unit. Because in an Indian family unit, you have a man, you have a woman, and you have a child, and that concept is not compatible with the Indian family unit. Now, what would you really say to this statement and the argument which the center is trying to give?
I'm not really sure what they see in Indian unit because I see a lot of people who acquire one in heterosexual marriages. They're cheating behind their wives. And I don't know if they want to call this as a culture. Of course, they are free to call this as a culture. But we do not want to be associated that way. Where a queer couple or a queer person is forced to get married to a woman, or a queer woman is getting forced to marry to a man. I think this is a kind of culture that they're indirectly promoting by not allowing queer people to get married to people of their choice. This is destroying a lot of families. It is not a problem of just
Vignesh,
queer
sorry to
people.
interrupt you, but Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, when he was representing the government today in the court, he said that recognizing gay marriages would trigger legal problems. Now, what kind of legal problems is the government preempting? I mean, do you doubt the intentions of the government that the government doesn't want to give those constitutional rights to the gay couples or the lesbian couples? Does it mean that?
Yes, of course. One such example is the government statement themselves they've given in the affidavit fact. While it is certainly true that all citizens have the right to marriage under Article 19, no such relationships can be necessarily granted legal recognition. I'm not really sure what they're trying to mean here because they say we have the right to marriage under Article 19, but they're also saying that we cannot make any legal provisions for such people to get married. They're contradicting themselves in the very one statement given to the Supreme Court in the affidavit. One such problem. Second thing is that once queer people come into the concept of marriage, you have to dissolve the concept of caste. You have to dissolve the concept of religions. You have to dissolve a lot of prejudices that the cisgender heterosexual community have themselves while dealing with queer marriages. This is seen as a problem for them. Primarily, while they say that a man and a woman has to get married and beget a child, it also goes down to transferring the properties to their own blood. And well, queer people when they get married, they will be having a chosen child, or
Vignesh,
they'll have a different.
Vignesh, if you have followed what Tushar Mehta said, he said that if we allow the same-sex marriage, then the question also arises as to what will happen about the adoption. Those big questions on
Yes.
adoption will arise. Now, how will the government really tackle all of that? They are trying to express some kind of a helplessness when it comes to adoption. So, what would you really say to this?
I will not say that they're helpless because there are precedents already given by the high courts where the trans couple have been allowed to adopt a child. And I guess once they start to make amendments to certain acts, the discrimination that is already in the present legislature that they have created it becomes very much visible. It makes a kind of bad image for the government. For example, the Surrogacy Act excludes LGBTQ people from having surrogacy rights. And that is also against the constitutional values, that also against the very constitutional rights the constitution guarantees to queer people, where it discriminates people based on their sexual orientation and gender. I guess there is a fear from the government side that they will have to expose their own prejudices that they have against LGBTQ people when they're going to amend such acts. And there's also they have to include all kinds of people from the LGBTQ community, regardless of caste, creed, and everything, to create such things. And I'm not ready to do that or ready to hear from our side what we need.
No, but Vignesh, I was also listening to the argument of Abhishek Manu Singhvi. What he said was that, time has now come that you focus not on man or woman, but the classes, which class you belong to. And he made a valid point. Now, do you think that this constitution bench, which is going to deal with the same-sex marriage, will have to look at this? Or, can the court really look into it? Or it will be the parliament which is going to decide? Because the law minister Kiran Rijiju said that it's a policy matter which has to be decided by the legislature. And if the centre has said that they will not take a stand on this and they have opposed it, so what hope is really left? Can the court really tell the government that you formulate a policy or you formulate a law regarding this?
I guess this is not some new kind of thing that the legislature will be doing, like forming a policy for an entire set of people to ensure the basic rights. That is what the 2014 NALSA judgment did. They created an entirely new policy for trans people. Though there are many problematic parts still that is under argument, they did create a new policy for the trans people, recognizing us as third gender that they want to call it as, and gave us a lot of provisions as well. So I guess it will not be any kind of new thing for a government to frame a new policy for an entire set of minority people who are not given the constitutional rights. I guess it is just general laziness on their part to just come and discuss with them. I guess they have reservations about asking us to come and tell what do we need, because they're trying to stand on their side and say what we need from their part. They're trying to say this is what you need and this is what you deserve.
Vignesh, what I want to ask you is that do you think that the Indian democracy or the India as a society, is it mature enough to handle same-sex marriages? Because why I'm asking you is because transgenders face a lot of discrimination. There is a lot of discrimination as far as the gay the gay couples are concerned or the lesbian couples are concerned. There's so much of discrimination all over. So is the Indian society really ready to handle same-sex marriages?
I guess this was the same question that was asked when NALSA judgment was given, recognizing trans people as third gender, giving them legal recognition to change their gender into male and female. Is India ready to recognize trans people? I guess it is not about the Indians becoming ready. It is about whether or not the constitution is ready to recognize a oppressed set of people. And I would like to take an example where Baba Saheb Ambedkar himself has represented queer people in one such case as in Raghunath Karve's case, where he says that if at all same-sex couple has has some feelings, has that feelings, and if it is natural, why should we not allow them to pursue those feelings? And this was in 1940s. If Baba Saheb Ambedkar can do that in 1940s, why not? Indian society can. If there is a chance for reformation in society, they will come to change. And that change should come from nurturing constitutional morality among people, and not religious or any other morality.
Okay, I have to cut you short here because I'm running short of time. But yes, the same-sex marriage, all the pleas now have been referred to the larger constitutional bench of 5 judges. The matter is now posted for 18th of April. So it would be interesting, and all the hearings are going to be live streamed. So it will be interesting to note the arguments as to what the government is saying as far as the Solicitor General is concerned, and as far as the petitioners are concerned, their side will be represented by the senior lawyer and Congressman Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Thank you. It was wonderful talking to you, Vignesh. You came on Qvive Network and shared your angst and your anxieties. Thank you so much. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this network, share this video as widely as you can, subscribe to our channel and send us your feedback, and stay tuned to our special program Angle 360 only on Qvive. Thank you.